What's up, guys? I'm back with something that a lot of you have probably been looking forward to for a long time. That is a no assist league race around Monaco in F122. And before you start watching the video, I will go ahead and tell you there were only 4 people in this race, and so it's not as much of a battle as maybe it could be, but that presents me with a unique opportunity for this maybe to be my first win in this league. And I've been running this league for a while now. Close call there on my qualifying lap. I don't know that he was really in the wrong. I mean, I think he was doing his best to get out of the way. It was just sort of a tight little area there, and honestly, it didn't really impact my lap. Just watch the rest of it, but it was a bit scary. So anyway, only 4 people in this race, but it presents me with a unique opportunity to maybe get my first win. And my thinking behind that is the thing about Monaco is that it is incredibly difficult to stay unscathed throughout the race, especially when you're on no assists, as we are in this league. So my thinking here is I can make up for the fact that I don't have the most pace in the world by hopefully just staying on track and not wrecking and maybe find myself in a position to win a race. I think that all 3 of the other drivers in this race have the pace to stay ahead of me or compete with me, so it's really going to be a situation where I have to hope that everybody else crashes out, and I'm lucky enough or skilled enough to just stay on track. And I will be doing that from 3rd place, as you see here, as I'm a couple seconds off my teammate Hal, who is the undisputed leader of the championship in this league and the fastest driver amongst us. So I've got my work cut out for me, certainly, but we will see what we can do. You see me here on the starting line, 3 of us on mediums, 1 on hards. That is F1 original poly. So hopefully I can make up some spaces here and get into first. So I get a pretty decent start here, but I'm stuck behind original poly and Hal, and I'm just gonna kind of take it easy here, and I'm just gonna hang back a little bit and let them fight amongst themselves, because the last thing I want, especially in this league with ghosting off, is for somebody else to lock up and hit a wall and just stop on track, and then I can't get past the person. So I'm worried about that happening, and I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So for the moment, I'm just going to hang back a little bit and let these guys drive. But the downside to that is that I'm very quickly losing time versus Hal. He is well ahead of me at this point in the race. And while I'm staying within a second of F1 original poly, it's not like I'm hanging back and staying within a second of him. I mean, he's truly got more pace than I do, and he's on hards and I'm on mediums. So not a good sign for the rest of the race, just in terms of pure pace. And my hope is that I can still stay competitive despite that. The good news is Sailor J behind me is not giving me a lot of pressure. I think maybe he had a bit of a mistake at one point on that lap, because he did lose a little bit of time to me, and he's roughly about 3 seconds back now. Whereas Hal's 3.5 ahead. F1 original poly is 1.2 ahead. So we're kind of within striking range here, but we're pretty clearly going to be out of DRS range by the time that rolls around. So unable to capitalize on that. But for those of you who have kept up with the channel, you can still see that I'm on the Apollo Dyson account. I've been locked out of my main PSN on F122 for the past about 2 months now, and I don't know why. I've been all over the forums trying to get it fixed. Been in contact with some people at Codemasters via messages in the forums. I reply to most of their tweets and tell them that I can't access the game, but still hasn't been fixed. You see me here get my first track limits violation. Had a bit of a lockup going into the chicane there, and I'm pretty sure every track limit violation I get throughout the race all happens at that corner. And to be fair, it is the easiest place for that to happen, but it does happen. Lap 5 here, we jump ahead. All 4 guys are still in the race, so that part of my plan is not working out for the moment. But you see me there just go a little bit wide, and I slowed down and stopped on track to avoid running into the wall, because that would have been disastrous. And again, the last thing I want is to get a DNF. But that cost me some serious time, and by the time I'm back where I'm supposed to be going, I've lost 4 or 5 seconds against everyone else in the race. So I'm well out of range of Hal, Paulie, and Sailor J is pretty far behind me, but I get the biggest stroke of luck as I start my 10th lap as Hal DNFs. And as I mentioned, Hal is the fastest guy in the league. So at this point in the race, I'm thinking, okay, I have a real opportunity here because Hal was always going to be, I thought, the main competitor in terms of pure pace, but also he's the most consistent. And I go straight into the wall. I just got distracted there and just a momentary lapse. And that just goes to show what Monaco can do to you. I get some wing damage on the front right of my wing just because I had a momentary lapse and just went straight into the wall. And then you see on lap 12, Sailor J DNFs as well. So at this point in the race, there are only two of us. And you see me tiptoe past Sailor J there. F1 Original Paulie is much faster than I am, but he has had a propensity for crashing out in a few races elsewhere in the season, and you see me hit a wall there again. So got to stop that, obviously. And this one, they actually suggested I go into the pits and change my wing, but I drove through the next couple corners here, and it felt fine. And frankly, I'm not going to be competing with Paulie on pace. And there's another track limit violation at the chicane. I wasn't going to be competing with Paulie on pace here, so it was really all about just trying to drive with the wing. And I knew I was planning to pit on lap 19 anyway, so I figured it would probably be fine. You see lap 19 roll around here. I go into the pits, and Original Paulie is actually pitted on the same lap as well, so he goes to the mediums, from the mediums to the hards, roughly 50-ish, 52-ish seconds ahead of me. And you see him change the wing there, and we go on to the hard tires. And I'm just gonna try to keep my cool here, because frankly I'm not gonna catch Paulie on track. A bit of a lock up there. Just wanted to show you that because Monaco's scary. My heart rate went crazy once I did that. But what I wanted to show you there was just the fact that yeah, okay, so you see me get lapped there. Get the blue flags, let him by as respectfully as possible. I'm now one lap down. But anyway, as I mentioned, my thinking here at this point in the race, as you see me get my 3-second penalty for track limit violations, is I just need to stay on track. And I'm not going to catch this guy, and I have to hope that he is just going to mess up. You see there that he goes onto the softs on lap 31, and I'm thinking much the same thing here. I'm thinking I can try to maybe yoink a fast lap and get an extra point if I can finish the race. And best case scenario here is I win the race because Paulie crashes out, as you see him lap me there again. Best case scenario is he crashes out, I win the race, and I'm able to yoink the fast lap at some point. So you see here I'm setting up my next tires to be a soft. Well, you can't actually see it yet, but you're about to see it. I'm going to go ahead and set up softs for my next tires, and I'm going to pit here in the next couple laps. And I'm hoping that if I time this correctly, I can go at the end of the race and get a fast lap. Because, again, Paulie's got a lot more pace than I do, but I'm hoping I can get a fast lap if I'm doing it on a lower fuel load, and maybe I'll be the only one on the track, too. So minimize any distractions or disruptions that might occur. You see me get good there. I was surprised that wasn't purple, but that just happens sometimes, I guess. So you can't really do anything about it. You just got to hit it when you're supposed to hit it. But going into lap 38 here, I wanted to show you this fast lap attempt just because, again, I'm one lap down. So Paulie's on his last lap of the race. It seems pretty clear at this point that he's not going to wreck, but you never know. I've just got to keep driving and hope that he makes a mistake. But for the moment, all I have to do is just push and hope for this fast lap to maybe yoink it from him and put myself in a position to at least get one extra point. And that will be actually pretty valuable in the championship race just because of Hal, I think, pretty much has run away with the championship. But it would not hurt me to get an extra 2-point swing over Original Paulie just to try to maximize my positioning and hopefully get second place in the championship if at all possible. So you see I'm purple through the first sector. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. I just can't make any more crucial errors, and I hopefully would be able to get a fast lap here and again get the extra point. You see Paulie comes across the line. Unfortunately, he did finish the race. Great win for him. I'm happy for him, but I did think that maybe this was my rare opportunity to get a win here because you can't really expect Hal to crash out of too many races. I think this is the first time I've ever seen him do it. And I've been racing with him now for like 3 or 4 seasons. So I can't really expect that to happen anymore. So we may have to go to another Monaco race to make that happen again. But I come across the line, second place. You could just barely see it at the very end there. I do get driver of the day, nicely done, but you could just barely see it at the end. I do get the fast lap. So that is 19 points for me, 25 points for F1 Original Pauly, and I yoinked it by what? 0.152 seconds. So the slimmest margin, but I was able to do it, and I am happy with that, and I'm proud of that. That's my second fast lap in this league, first fast lap in the no assist division, and we were the only two drivers that survived until the end. But hey, I'll take it however I can get it, and hopefully we fill up this grid a little bit more. The next time we go to Monaco, it's with 20 drivers, and maybe I get a win.